Hey, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day down by the beach. Probably a bit too beautiful for photography, but I've got all of today to play around with. Well, I've been down here already about 2 hours. I came down at high tide and I've been experimenting with lots of shots, mainly wide angle and long exposure. The weather is a bit too bright for that, unfortunately, but it's good practice, and I'm going to spend a lot of the day down here. When the tide goes out some more, I'm going to explore some rock pools, I think.
Here's the first photograph I took today. It's a 25-second exposure of the beach.
In case you're interested, I've kept the equipment very simple today. I am just using the Nikon Z6 with the 14-30 lens and occasionally the 24-70. And for filters, I'm using the Kent Faith magnetic filters, the CPL and the 10 stop. And for tripod, I'm using the Kent Faith carbon fibre tripod that I reviewed in a recent video. Now, I've come across a little problem with the magnetic filters, and I think it's the case with all magnetic filters, is if you stack them on a wide lens, you get incredible amount of vignetting. So hopefully I've left enough room in the camera to crop that out.
Take a look at these two photos to see how stacking magnetic filters affects a wide-angle lens. The first photo was taken at 14mm and there's hardly any vignetting. But in the second photo, also at 14mm, you can see significant vignetting. That's due to the CPL and ND filters being stacked together and interfering with the lens's field of view.
So anyway, I've had mixed fortunes. From what I've seen on the camera, I've got some good shots, okay shots, but I've unfortunately lost my drone again. So this is my second drone, I think, within a year I've lost. This time I hit a rock doing some quick shots. So I think I'm going to buy a more expensive drone with some collision avoidance, because obviously I need it, especially when I'm using the quick shots in this sort of like rocky terrain. It is a bit of a troublesome issue, I think, for me anyway.
Even though I had some trouble with magnetic filters on my wide-angle lens and struggled a bit with flying my drone, I'm really pleased with how the first part of the day went. I ended up with some good photos, nothing mind-blowing, but definitely worth it. Plus, the beautiful weather made the experience even better.
So anyway, I'm going to wait for the tide to go out a bit more, and if you can see, there's some rock pools behind me. I'm going to experiment with those with the wide angle again. I think it's going to get some nice shots with that lens. The water's nice and calm, but the rocks are a fantastic jaggly edge, so I'm going to try there. So I'm struggling to get any compositions at the moment. I was hoping for a bit more seaweed and a bit more colour around the rock pools, but sadly that's not the case. There's a bit around here and there, which is a luscious green where you see it, but not much, as I say. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this shot, which is requiring me to get quite low down, and hopefully I can get something out of it. Anyway, picture on the screen if it's any good.
Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse in the second part of the day, as this photo clearly shows. I decided to include some of my failures too. Everything that went wrong is right here. The composition isn't as engaging as I'd hoped. Shooting in harsh light and directly into the sun caused a lot of sunspots, and every speck of dirt on my filter is visible. Honestly, there's nothing that can be done to fix this one.
Anyway, I think I've taken enough around this section for a bit. I'm just going to investigate up there and see if there's anything worth taking. Anyway, found another composition in the rock pools. It's still very bright in the sun and I'm getting a bit of glare, so I'm going to use a circular polarizer to try and cut down some of that glare, and hopefully, fingers crossed, something will come out.
This rock pool photo is definitely an improvement over the previous one, but the harsh lighting still takes away from it a bit. I'll need to come back and shoot it again when the lighting is more subdued. I took another shot in this location, and just for a change, I processed it in black and white. It's probably my favourite photo from the second part of the day around the rock pools.
So anyway, I'm going to call it quits now. It's just the light's too harsh. I want to get some food. I've spent 3 hours down here. I think I've got a couple of good photos. I was hoping for more, but I mean, it's just too bright now and too contrasty, so I'll return another day. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the office and have a look at the photos now. So that was a mixed day. The lighting didn't do me any favours and I lost a drone to boot. But, you know, these things happen. Practice makes perfect. That's what I'm going to take away from that. So some of my friends ask me why I go out when the weather conditions aren't perfect for photography, i.e. in this case it was too sunny. Well, simple answer is I schedule my days for photography and I go out regardless of the weather, hopefully. So if it's bright, that's what I've got. And I try and make the best of the conditions, and I tend to come away with pictures that I'm surprisingly happy with. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. For the products I used in there, I have left links in the description, but until the next video, see you later. Cheers.